Under?
Doesn't matter whose name it is under. All that matters is that we're divorced and this house which I've paid for isn't for you.
Well, you haven't paid for it if it's not under your name, no?
Well, no, it doesn't matter whose name it is for.
Well, it does, because we were together.
Okay, well, I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
Well, why are we living in it then?
Because it doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because if we divorced...
Well, yeah, we're not living in it anymore, are we? Well, I am.
So how long are you going to keep that a surprise for then?
It doesn't matter. You didn't pay a single penny for the house.
I contributed my fair share to this place.
How did you?
Cooking, cleaning, one less thing for you to do.
Oh, well, congratulations.
That was the
You can cook and
agreement.
clean somewhere else. Look, you divorced me, okay, yeah? You have no right to this house. I knew that this was going to come because since we first got married or whatever, that's all you're interested in. You're only interested in the financial side of stuff. And then when shit hits the fan, things start to go a bit low, you call for a divorce. Cool, I'll let you have that divorce.
No.
But when I bought this house, I put this house in my mum's name. I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
So you had no right to lie to me about it.
I didn't lie to you. Didn't lie to you at all.
You said that you bought the
We
house.
lived in the house. Yeah, I did buy the house. I bought the house.
So why did you not tell me when you bought the house?
I didn't
it
need
would
to
be under your name?
because it wasn't your business.
But we were together. We were married.
Well, we're not now. We're not now. You divorced me, and it's clear to see why you divorced me.
Yeah, because you're a liar.
I'm not lying, Stacey. You divorced me because that's what you was interested in. And then when business became a bit low, you know, since COVID, you wasn't there.
Don't even
You
bring
were just
COVID
complaining.
into
You were
it.
just complaining. Oh, don't even bring COVID into it. Look, getting back to my business, and you weren't happy with it. And now, because things are becoming good again, that's when now you're back.
I'm not
And then when you found out, yeah, okay, that after the divorce proceedings, there's nothing for you. That's why you're back, isn't it?
The biggest thing is that you lied to me for however
So
long we were
what did
married
you
for.
want? What did you expect? Do you think that you've earned a share of this house?
Absolutely.
For
I
what?
made it homely.
For what? Cooking and cleaning.
Making it homely. I made it.
You
homely.
made it homely?
I made it a lovely place for us living together.
No,
And
not
I found out
really.
it's for your mum.
You've made it into a hell.
How? It's clean. It's laid out lovely. It's homely.
You've
it's
not
welcoming.
been here for 6 months.
Well, yeah, because you've been lying to me this whole time.
I've not been lying to you.
You, told
You
me
never
bought this
asked me.
house.
Yeah, I did buy this house. You never asked me once. Is this house in your name? You never asked me that
Why do
question.
I need to ask that? If you're buying a house, you're only going to assume it's going to be bought for yourself.
No, you buy a house for your children, a house for your mum.
We don't have kids.
Exactly. I'm saying if you have kids, you buy it for your kids. I'm not like you. I don't just buy it for myself, you know.
This is irrelevant. My biggest issue is that you have lied throughout the whole time we were
It
together.
doesn't matter. We're not together anymore. Me, you can go your own way into.
That was a good call. She should go. I don't understand why she's at his house calling him a liar when they're no longer in a relationship, especially since he didn't lie about anything. He actually bought the house, so how is he a liar? It just seems like someone is upset that things didn't turn out the way they had planned.
Into your own shared house with your parents, whilst I'll stay here in the house which I bought.
Yeah, and lie to the next person that you date. So good luck to whoever that is.
Well, no, I'm protecting myself actually.
How are you protecting yourself? You
Protecting
just lied to
myself,
me. And
yeah.
you lied to it's like the whole relationship.
You know what, Stacey? I'm gonna get back inside my house, okay? Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. I knew that this was gonna come because since we first got married or whatever, that's all you're interested in. You're only interested in the financial side of stuff.
That short sentence alone says it all. Nobody goes to that level of planning in advance for no reason. At this point, it's evident that throughout their marriage, she gave him enough reason to believe she was in it for what she could get, and he clearly picked up on that, which ultimately led to this outcome. Some people think they're smart, but they forget there is always someone who is one step ahead, just like in this case. She probably had plans for that property, but the way he protected himself forced her into a position where she had no choice but to find another way to own a house. And honestly, her best option now is to do it the way everyone else does. The shortcut strategy she tried didn't work out. He was smarter. He definitely had reason to believe she had her eyes on that house, which is why he didn't waste any time and put it in his mother's name. She didn't see that coming.
Not now. You divorced me, and it's clear to see why you divorced me.
Her reasons are clear now. The goal was to get that divorce and take the house on the way out. Fortunately, he saw it coming and did what he had to do to protect what he worked hard for. What makes it more interesting is that she somehow thinks he lied. But in my opinion, that wasn't a lie. He did buy the house they were living in. The only detail he left out was whose name it was under. The fact that it wasn't in his name doesn't automatically mean he was dishonest.
Why aren't men making the first move anymore? Like, That's literally your job. That's your responsibility to show that initial interest. That's your job to go get that girl's number, to go tell her that you're interested. You're afraid of getting rejected? Be a man. Grow up.
I don't understand why some women still expect guys to always make the first move, especially when it's something they're perfectly capable of doing themselves. It's not really a gender-specific thing, so why aren't they willing to take that step? I guess it probably has to do with rejection. As we know, most women don't seem to handle it well, which is why many of them go out of their way to avoid putting themselves in situations where they might be turned down. But honestly, I don't think it's something to worry about, because in most cases we are polite even when we're not interested.
You won't believe how simple this is. You want to meet a woman who's wife material, one who's not out partying, one who's not drinking on the weekend, one who's working on herself and wants to look good. You go to the gym on Saturday and Sunday morning between 7 and 9 a.m. I promise you, a wife is waiting there for you.
That was actually a smart way to find those who don't spend their weekends in nightclubs. If you're at the gym this early in the morning, it pretty much means you had a decent night of sleep. We know it can work, but we also have to be cautious, as there's always the chance that she's someone else's wife. And that's another reality that can't be overlooked. Guys still need to be mindful of how they approach this type of situation.
What do you mean you're 32 and you want intimacy without commitment? You want a short-term relationship. Sir, you might die tomorrow. You don't have time to be requiring this from me. What is wrong with your noggin?
I've noticed that many women share similar thoughts when it comes to guys taking their time with dating and relationships. What they often don't realize is that a man in his 30s is essentially in the same position as a woman in her early 20s, something that tends to be overlooked. After all, why would a man rush into a relationship in his early 30s when he's just entering his prime? This is usually the point when things start improving career-wise and in terms of overall stability, allowing him to fully experience what the dating scene has to offer. And if he's been working on himself, his dating pool expands significantly, giving him little reason to settle down at that stage. So using the same logic to give guys reason to get into serious commitment doesn't really make sense, especially when they still have time.
Only 6% of black men in America make over $100,000 a year or more. So out of 49.6 million, only 2.4, let me say it again, only 2.4 would make over $100,000. And the amount of people that start with that kind of money right off the bat is few and far between, unless it's labor or labor intensive work or highly skilled, sought after work. What does that mean? I need you to lower that requirement just a little bit.
Instead of only focusing on guys who make a certain amount, they should be paying attention to this statistic. This is the number they should be directing their energy toward, because it would have served them better and helped them realize that using that bar as a requirement is actually hurting their dating life. The reality is that things are going to get really hard if they keep that standard, simply because there aren't enough men making that kind of money to match the number of women looking for them. Most women are chasing something that isn't nearly as common as they think, and we all know how that tends to go. And that's not even considering the fact that a good percentage of men earning that much are already in relationships, or if they're single, they have their own preferences too, which only makes things more difficult for those women.
Happy birthday, sweetheart! I got you your favorite bag. I got you all the diamond chains they had in the store. I bought all of them so you don't even have to pick anything. You can just choose and select and mix and match because you're a precious diamond. If you want to go out with your friends later, I have some cash ready for you. You can spoil them. And if this is not enough, I got a nice little black credit card. Everything you touch with this becomes free. Oh, it's your birthday again? Wasn't it your birthday like last year? Don't you know that capitalism is the root of all evil? Let's face it, you have a job, I have a job, and rent is due this month, and we should split the rent. I have feelings too. You should consider my feelings. Anyway, I got you this lovely dragon fruit. It's organic. Happy birthday or whatever.
That was a clever strategy to promote himself, and based on the comments section, it definitely worked. Most women were saying they wish they could be blessed with that type of man, someone to help them. And now I'm certain his DMs were flooded with women looking for a guy to pay their bills. He definitely attracted all kinds of attention to himself, and I just hope he's ready for it.
Y'all know what I'm sick of hearing? Why are so many women single? Women no longer stay in relationships. Women are tired. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but we're no longer willing to deal with disloyalty and disrespect just to say we got a man. Because personally, I'd rather go mop the ocean before I deal with another one-sided relationship. And people love to say, but you too pretty to be single. Nah, boo. What I am is too intelligent to stay in a one-sided relationship. Too loyal to deal with disloyalty. Too real to deal with someone else's past trauma when they won't get therapy. Too kind to be mistreated. And way too whole to let anyone else break us down. Pretty is no longer the standard. Peace, growth, and respect are. And if you can't get with that, then you gotta go. So please stop telling women that we're too pretty to be single, because we have chosen our peace. And what we have become is educated, healed, and unbothered. That's what we are.
Honestly, if those were the real reasons women were divorcing their husbands, things would probably be a lot simpler. We've seen countless videos where women admit they didn't leave because their husband cheated or mistreated them. They left because they got bored. There was nothing wrong with their husbands or the marriage, yet they still chose to end it. They were looking for something he just couldn't give, chasing a level of excitement that only someone like Chad used to bring. At this point, a lot of guys are genuinely confused. They don't know what to do to keep their wives happy and willing to stay, because even when they avoid all the typical pitfalls, like cheating or neglect, some women still report feeling unhappy and ready to file for divorce. So while what she said might sound good in the book, the reality is that it's not always the real reason women are leaving. In fact, I've seen situations where a woman stayed longer with someone who brought a lot of drama into the relationship than she did with the so-called good guy who genuinely tried to make her happy.